With a government dedicated to serving its people, the American society thrives with immense potential. America is known as the land of opportunity. This ideology has coined the phrase the American dream, which means the ability for one to rise up the societal and financial ladder in the United States, regardless of what your background is. A perfect example of someone who resembled and lived out the American dream is Christopher Gardner. Born on February 9, 1954, Gardner's early years were filled with hardship, with having an abusive father and eventually living in foster homes. As a young adult, Gardner began a relationship with a woman named Jackie Medina. Months into their relationship, she gave birth to a son, Christopher Jarrett Gardner Jr., on January 28, 1981. While living in San Francisco, Gardner worked as a research lab assistant at UCSF. His position as a research lab assistant paid only about $8,000 a year, which was not enough for him to support a live-in girlfriend and a child. After 4 years, he quit these jobs and doubled his salary by taking a job as a medical equipment salesman. However, a coincidental encounter with a stockbroker in a red Ferrari opened Gardner's eye to the world of finance. He then accepted an unpaid internship at Dean Witter Reynolds' stock brokerage training program. Eventually, Jackie left Gardner and he was not making money to support himself nor his son. Therefore, throughout Gardner's time at the internship, he was homeless, all while posing to be a successful and up-and-coming businessman. This internship, along with Gardner's desire to succeed in the world, allowed him to eventually establish the brokerage firm Gardner Rich & Co. in Chicago, Illinois. This firm was an institutional brokerage firm specializing in the execution of debt, equity, and derivative products transactions for some of the nation's largest institutions, public pension plans, and unions. His new company started in his small Presidential Towers apartment, with a startup capital of $10,000 and a single piece of furniture, a wooden desk that doubled as the family dinner table. Gardner reportedly owns 75% of his stock brokerage firm, with the rest owed by a hedge fund. He chose the name Gardner Rich for the company because he considers Mark Rich, the commodities trader pardoned by former President Bill Clinton on Clinton's last day in office in 2001, as one of the most successful future traders in the world. After Gardner sold his small stake in Gardner Rich in a multi-million-dollar deal in 2006, he became the CEO and founder of Christopher Gardner International Holdings, with offices in New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. Also, during a visit to South Africa to observe elections around the time of the 10th anniversary of the end of the apartheid, Gardner met with Nelson Mandela to discuss possible investment in South African emerging markets as indicated in his 2006 autobiography. Gardner is reportedly developing an investment venture with South Africa that will create hundreds of jobs and introduce millions in foreign currency into the nation. Christopher Gardner's famous rags to riches story resembles the perfect example of an American dream.